Hey, what's going on YouTube? I was just going to make a video by request of my UI, my add-ons, and a couple of the macros that I actually use to make PvP a little bit easier for me. It could be different for you. You could try out my setup to see how you like it. But everything's different for different people, and I have mine set up just the way I like it. It helps me out a lot in arenas and PvP and stuff like that. First off, you'll notice that my bars don't look normal like what your regular WoW bars would look like. I'm actually using Bartender 3, is it? No, Bartender 4, I'm sorry, to get my bars looking this way. And basically, to me, if getting everything together just kind of makes it cleaner, and I have a little bit more real estate on my screen. From there, I'm going to move on to up here. You'll see, like when I charge this target right here, it shows my debuffs on top of the target right here. Well, that is an add-on called Tidyplates. It's really simple to set up. You don't really have to worry about everything because it's set up basically right out of the box, and it is adjustable for DPS, how wide the frame is and everything, and that's just toggled by basically hitting V, and then it comes up. You can have it turned off or turned on, whichever way you like it. The next add-on that you'll notice from me is my map. Up at the top right corner, I don't really like it up there. It's hard to see. I like everything in front of my face, so I bring my mini map down and I have it. It's called Sexymap. It lets you move your mini map wherever and change the way it looks and all that good stuff. My actual chat mod or add-on that I use is called Prat 3, and it basically gives you, like, well, yeah, there you go, you get colored text for the whatever type class that person is that sends that message. Also, it gives you timestamps of when the thing was, when the message was sent, and a couple other things. Plus, it also backlogs your chat. So say you log out and log back in. When you log back in, it actually has your last, say, 5 minutes of your chat log still there. It says, previous chat, and you can actually scroll up and look at the stuff. It's pretty cool. I like it because it gives you a little bit more freedom to mess around with your chat and make it, easier to see, or you won't have to worry about shift clicking on people to get your to see what kind of class they are and all that kind of good stuff. Also, let me charge this target again. If you'll notice, right above where my mini map is, I've got text coming up like that. That's going to be mix scrolling combat text. Basically, those are movable wherever. It makes your damage to where it's, to me, I just got damage going everywhere. I got this right above my target. Then I have it right there. Also, that's on the right side. The left side over here, well, the left side of my, my unit frames, or my combat bar, is the healing, and plus it also gives you the scroll up and down part of the middle. It tells you whatever your cooldowns are. They say, hey, Colossal Slam is ready, and it gives you a little sound too. It also makes it pretty simple. During that fight, you would have seen me when I was beating up that target. You have seen stuff popping up saying like, or you'd see little pictures with little timers going down. That's actually called Tell Me When. So you can basically set that add-on up to where if, say, my wind song enchant procs on my weapon, I can actually let it visually show me that it's procced instead of up in the top right corner. It'll actually show up on my right in front of my face and say, hey, this is what it looks like, this is it, and this is how much time it has left. Plus I also have it linked with my Recklessness, my Deep Wounds, my Colossal Slam, or Smash, Colossal Smash I think, yeah, Colossal Smash, and a couple of other things. I have like Taste for Blood right in front of my face, but if you also noticed in the previous, say, you know, I'll just go over here and beat on this guy, my damage, how it comes up like that, that's actually called nice damage. It's kind of a weird add-on to put in because you don't actually, like, from the way I did it, I didn't actually drop it into my add-ons folder. I just went and dropped that file into the World of Warcraft font file, and I started seeing damage that looked like that. And it looks a lot better than the pixelated, ugly, default WoW damage. Now, moving on, for arenas, I use you have two add-ons that, to me, are a necessity. First one being Gladius. It basically gives you enemy unit frames, tells you what their cooldowns are when they have their trinkets up, what major cooldowns they pop, and it also gives you big cast bars, huge cast bars. Also gives you a couple of some freedom to basically move around your in ease of selecting your targets and stuff if they're not right in front of your face. Now we're going to move on to macros, the way I have my macros set up on my warrior. My first macro is going to be my charge macro, and basically it's my charge and my hamstring all in one. So I don't have to use or have to have two buttons on my hotbar. I just macroed both of them together. Basically, if I'm out of range for hamstring, it'll charge. If I'm in range of hamstring, it'll apply hamstring if I hit it again. And it basically just frees up space on your action bars to where you don't have to have as many spells and you're not managing throwing around, you know, hitting 2 or 3 buttons right after you charge a target. I use a Mortal Strike macro, and basically what it does, that's my number 2 on my hotbar. Basically what it'll do is when I hit it, the first priority for it is going to be Mortal Strike. If Mortal Strike is on cooldown but Overpower is up, if I hit it again, it'll overpower. That makes it to basically the same thing as my charge macro, just condensing down the spells into one button, to where you don't have to worry about as much. The next macro that I use is going to be my Overpower macro. With it, it's number 5 on my action bar. Basically the same thing as my other 2 macros. Very simple, very basic. If I have an Overpower up, it'll use Overpower. But if I have landed a killing blow and I'm in range and I have Victory Rush up, it'll actually use my Victory Rush instead of me, you know, using the actual spell. I still have it on my I still have Victory Rush on my hotbar just so that I can see you know, visually see when Victory Rush is up, because sometimes they're hard to see, especially if you're in a pretty intense battle. I don't know if I use this one or not. Yeah, I don't use that one. the next macros that I use basically are a must-have for warriors, because when you start taking too much damage, you have to, you know, stance, or basically go to defensive stance and put on a shield and sword, and it makes your survivability a little bit better. That's going to be my battle stance macro. Basically what it does is when I hit it, it'll throw me in battle stance if I'm out of battle stance, plus it'll throw on my weapon, my two-handed weapon. So say you're in defensive stance, you've got, you know, sword and board, and you're in defensive stance with sword and board, but you want to switch back to two-handed battle stance. You just hit that macro once and it'll automatically cast battle stance, throw your two-hander on, and you're ready to deal damage. This macro would end up being, the next one would end up being like your, basically, you know, your, oh shit, I'm getting beat up, I need to blow all my defensive cooldowns to keep myself alive macro. When I hit this, puts me in defensive stance, it equips my sword and my shield, plus it casts shield wall and die by the sword. So all that in one. When I hit it twice because of the cast sequence. So once I, you know, hit shift 12 on my keypad, or on my Naga, it basically throws me in battle stance, throws all of my defensive cooldowns up, and keeps me alive that much longer. It's a really good macro for survivability, especially if you're taking a lot of damage. If you saw the video where I was dueling Mega Nuts 100 from YouTube, there was one battle that me and him did that I stayed in defensive stance the whole time. He kept me in defensive stance the whole time. The duel went on for about 10 minutes. It was pretty insane. But you know, it gives you a lot of survivability when you do that. But last but not least, I'm going to go over my one-shot macro, because to me, this is where the heart of the burst crazy damage that a warrior can do. Basically, my one-shot macro consists of, you know, casting Die by the Sword, Recklessness, Sweeping Strikes, then it blows our avatar, then it uses my PvP trinket that increases my strength. I think it's by 4k. It increases my strength by 4,000, and then plants a skull banner on the ground, and I just blow stuff up. You know, stuff does not live after that unless they have a really good healer. Other than that, that is the only macros I'm sorry, I forgot my Deadly Calm macro. When you get a lot of stacks of Taste for Blood up, you can actually hit really hard with Heroic Strike. So it's not in my normal rotation because of the simple fact of the damage. I feel like Slam hits harder, so I moved Heroic Strike out of my rotation and threw in Slam, because Slam just seems like it hits harder. But when I do have a lot of stacks of Taste for Blood, I'll blow Deadly Calm and just start spamming Heroic Strikes. It basically just slash cast Deadly Calm, then right after that slash cast Heroic Strike. But that's gonna be basically it, guys. That covers my add-ons, my current UI that I use, which is really basic because I don't use unit frames. Ever since they allowed you to move around the factory default WoW unit frames, I haven't messed with I messed with X-Pro a little bit in my other videos, but I've noticed that it was taking up a lot of memory, so I just went back to the factory, you know, unit frames. But other than that, guys, that's basically it, and I hope this helps you out with some of your questions about add-ons and what, you know, what is he using. That looks really cool. I'll have a list in the description of each add-on that I use, and you can find those on Curse. I think it's Curse Gaming .com or curse.com. Also, if you would, please like, comment, and subscribe. Gonna be rolling out videos pretty regularly here. So that's gonna be it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. And as always, have a good day.